So in that spirit, tonight, I thought I'd start my show a little differently. Tonight, I'm going to do something that I'm not particularly good at, but that I like to do. Tonight, I'm going to try some impressions out. I only got two. All right, the first impression's kind of dumb, but I like it. This is my impression. You ready? This is my impression of the founding fathers of America when the Constitution was being written. You ready? Here it goes. Hurry up and finish that Constitution, nigger. I'm trying to get some sleep. It's not bad, right? This is my impression of the founding fathers of America when the Constitution was being written. You ready? Here it goes. Hurry up and finish that Constitution, nigger. I'm trying to get some sleep.
One of the things I recognize with most people, particularly when we're trying to solve problems, is that the masses do not know history.
No.
And they don't know history and law goes together. Keep that in mind. Like your left leg and your right leg, history and jurisprudence, which is the superior category of law, go together. The disadvantage that we have as a people is that those principles have deliberately been held back from people of Asiatic African descent for control purposes. Do not get preoccupied pointing your finger at the European even though he has an agenda, for it is many of your own who have been working with them to enslave you. The other issue, and I would like to see another picture up there, Obama coming through the double doors representing the higher self and the lower self, with Michelle wearing a red dress with the Moorish flag to the left. That's after he had also made the declarations to the committees and to representatives of the nations of the world that the American Constitution is derived from Muslim law.
I also know civilization's debt to Islam. It was Islam that carried the light of learning through so many centuries, paving the way for Europe's Renaissance and Enlightenment. It was innovation in Muslim communities that developed the order of algebra, our magnetic compass and tools of navigation, our mastery of pens and printing, our understanding of how disease spreads and how it can be healed. Islamic culture has given us majestic arches and soaring spires, timeless poetry and cherished music. And throughout history, Islam has demonstrated through words and deeds the possibilities of religious tolerance and racial equality. I also know that Islam has always been a part of America's story. The first nation to recognize my country was Morocco. In signing the Treaty of Tripoli in 1796, and when the first Muslim American was recently elected to Congress, he took the oath to defend our Constitution using the same Holy Quran that one of our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, kept in his personal library.
One of the first issues with the Asiatics here is that they don't know that they're standing on Africa. The concept that has been promoted is that that's Africa alone. Everybody in the world, particularly in any secret society, Skull and Bones, any of your Shriner, Masons, ETC, GAR, Daughters of the American Revolution, Knights of Columbus, Knights Templar, Knights of Malta, ETC, all of them know that the land is Morocco.
You still put yourself under these people and want to believe that you are a U.S. citizen? No, you're not. What really happened was that they forced an agenda, and Lincoln and them put out something to say that the United States federal government, which is a foreign government, to the Republic of the to the Republic of so-called America, what they call United States of America and General Congress assembled. That's the original preamble government that existed here under the Articles of Confederation, under the Articles of Association. And that government was based on our people.
Right.
Period.
Anytime you see republic, you are talking about a representative form of government where you give power of attorney to someone else. Now, I know all of y'all know this. Representative and republic go together. And a representative must speak for you, and you remain silent. That is a republic. We, amongst the Moors, do not have a republic form of government. We created a republic form of government for someone else. For them.
So this is where, when they say founded in for the republic, which it stands, one nation, did it say anything about a democracy? It doesn't. Because democracy means a demonized government, a demonstrative government, meaning it's not real. It's under a colorable law. So anything that's colorable is not real. But in a colorable law-based society, you have to be a color for them to have jurisdiction. So here comes black. This is why you got to be black. Because that's what they were prior to the conflict. And then what they did was they just switched you under what's called the Emancipation Proclamation, which emancipate does not mean to free. It means to change ownership. So that means the ownership was switched where the so-called whites became black.
Etymology of that word.
That's right.
To
In the
switch
Latin,
ownership.
emancipato.
Wow.
So when you have these Moors out here and these blacks out here purposely miseducating people, telling them that they're citizens of the United States, when they know damn well, or they should know damn well, that in the Republic, you can't be a citizen of the United States and American at the same time. You got to be one or the other.
You can be a U.S. citizen or you can be an American, but you can't be both. It's impossible. Anyone who claims to be a citizen of the United States, under legal definition of the United States, is pledging their allegiance to Washington, D.C. or the District of Columbia. They are not Americans. You can be a U.S. citizen or you can be an American, but you can't be both. It's impossible.
Ron Emanuel Jew, one of the first things he issued from his desk was a proclamation telling the real history of the North Gate. You know, too many people weren't too happy with that.
Slum. I'm a Moor and got sense enough to know I'm a Moor. And ain't gonna never argue with you that I'm not a Moor. And wouldn't come in your house or come among you and say I'm a Moor if I didn't feel in my heart, in my mind, in my soul that I am. I would tell you, God damn it, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Ain't no more. So if I say it, I mean it. And if I mean it, generally, I say it.
All right, read what you see. It's in the dictionary. Understand? Go ahead. Continue.
Black or more.
Now, is that two words or is that one word?
Two.
Express its structure. Black dot a dot more. All right, read.
Noun.
Noun. So that means a person, place, thing, or idea, right? All right, now continue to read.
Any dark-skinned person, especially an African Negro. Earlier, black Moor.
And then they separate the black, don't they?
Yeah.
And it's all an even case, isn't it?
Correct.
And the more is capitalized, isn't it?
Correct.
Grammatical correction. So which one is the identity of these people who think they're black and Negroes? Is it in the dictionary?
Yeah.
Why is it an issue with these people that continue to claim to be somebody that they're not before the civilized world, get rejected, and accuse the civilized world of racism when race is the human species, which means they not only can't read, they don't even know what things mean. So in the world, they're called wards of the state or totally incompetent and are rejected.
The definition of American, which is a Moor, Al Morocco, America, this is it, right? It says copper-colored people. The various copper-colored people. The various, that's the true definition of American. You can find it in Webster's 1935 dictionary.
There's a book, matter of fact, it's a Webster's dictionary, 1937, 1939, Webster's dictionary talks about the definition of America. And it says it is the aboriginal or copper-colored natives found on the American continent by the European.
That's the true definition. So anything that's not quote-unquote pale skin, because see, remember now, the so-called Indians supposed to be the real Native Americans. No, Moors are the Native Americans. And you know, but here's the thing, the Indian is supposed to be the Native American.
Right.
But this is not India. Moors are Native Americans. But some don't want to call themselves Native Americans because it's been given to the so-called Indian. Well, bring it back, because you have to bring it back. Because until you come right, it ain't going to get right.
Africans Muslims discovered the Americas. That is what the Turkey President Erdogan confirms. African Americans have long been mocked for claiming Native American ancestry, and that Africans populated the Americas long before Columbus and the Europeans colonials set sails for the American continent. Weekly, the History Channel broadcasts a television series called Ancient Aliens, which seeks to convince viewers that it was not ancient men of color, but aliens from another world, who built the megalithic structures and pyramids of the Americas, and which founded the Olmec, Aztec and Mayan culture. But the West's revisionist history campaign suffered a setback when Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan told the world that black Moorish Muslims reached America 300 years before Columbus.
Latin Amerika'nın İslam'la tanışması, dikkatinizi çekiyorum, 12. yüzyıla kadar dayanır. Amerika kıtasının 1492'de Kolomb tarafından keşfedildiği iddia edilir. Oysa Kolomb'dan 314 sene önce 1178'de Müslüman denizciler Amerika kıtasına ulaşmışlardı. 1178. Hatta Kristof Kolomb'un hatıralarında Küba kıyılarında dağın tepesinde bir caminin varlığından bahsedilmektedir.
Coup d'etat of 1861. Explain the coup d'etat. Don't talk about the second one yet. Explain the coup d'etat of 1861, which was the overthrow. What happened in 1861?
There were several things that took place before 1861, adding up to the commercial war. It wasn't a civil war, actually. It got us believing it's a commercial war because it was about commerce and trade and about control of resources.
And how they do it?
The whole time since the federal debates in 1787, they were arguing about the South having the most population of the Moors, and they were getting them carrying the votes and controlling the votes in Congress.
And how they was doing that?
They were warring over that from the
So
start.
who was warring? The parties involved, which is the most important part.
The people, not individuals, because that's why courts, a lot of these private venues say you're not party to the Constitution, to the Europeans, because it wasn't them. If the people were the states,
and the states were who?
That became states,
which were corporations.
They were fighting each other over this, and that became a commercial war. A lot of people think.
But in 1861, right? Wait a minute, did I go to 1861?
It was May 10th, 1861. That was part of the problem. One of many things took place. One was the Dred Scott case. One of the measures that George Washington talked about in a letter to the Emperor in 1789, that he's going to put forth measures that would harmonize his empire with them, so there would no longer be the empire and the attachment. It would be
a conglomerate
as the.
But who was supposed to be the Article 3s though?
Article 3.
Because there were two parties, right?
The people, the Moors.
We were. Oh goodness, I gotta start erasing stuff. Sorry, y'all. I like to keep things here because I don't want to kind of erase it, so you might not be able to see what I'm writing, but it's for pure edification. So, what I was about to write was. Now I forgot because I wanted to sit here and make all that concession. Oh. United States, and then of America. So you got party number 1, party number 2. You got two parties. One, and only one, had authority over the courts at that particular time. And they were the Article 3s. And they were Moors, family. Moors. And why is that? Why is it that Moors were Article 3? What made them have the jurisdiction? What made them have the authority? What was it that the Albions lacked that the Asiatics, the Moors, had? Status, right?
The Moors had
sovereignty.
The sovereignty, the status, right? Because that's what created the attachment of them being of America, of Al-Marak to us.
Right. So we had the status, they lacked the status. So we had to kind of adopt them in, and that's why you have United States Major, which was the Moors, proper status, proper venue, proper jurisdiction, only authority, right? And then you had the United States of America, right? And the United States underscore, you got to keep in mind it was an underscore and it's of. And we don't realize that this whole American Constitution for the United States of America, I'll put it all in because we have to be clear, 1791, right? The Constitution for the United States of America, the Constitution for the United States of America, 1791, was a commercial agreement.
This shit deeper than you think. Yeah, think it is, nigga. Think it is, nigga. Think it is, nigga. Think it is, nigga. Yeah, think it is, nigga. Think it is, nigga. Think it is, nigga. Think it is, nigga.